Hold on. Hold on. Hold. Branson, those don't work anymore. Oh. I see what's happening here. No, I shouldn't have delay. Alright, Twitch. You struggling. Twitch is not struggling. We're gonna snooze these ads real quick. Well, yeah, Branson, we were listening to Otto. Alright. Pre-rolls are on, so we're kind of just cooked. Okay, no, we gotta talk about the Sykkuno Files. I got to fix this so we have audio for him, though. Alright. So, 2 hours ago, I was awoken, and I don't mean awoken, I opened Twitter and started scrolling to Himamal's tweet dropping the Sykkuno Files. Oh, buddy. Are we, are we on some stuff today? Oh, I gotta open Discord real quick. There is there is a lot to discuss here. And, well, alright. And now, let's do this, alright? We're gonna read through this whole thing. Hold on, I'm replying to someone. We're gonna do this in one take. This is gonna be this is gonna be a this is gonna be a yardy type video. Okay? Only it's gonna be really long. I'm not cutting anything out. So on Valentine's Day of this year, I was followed on Twitter by Sykkuno. You know, it started out like this, and I'm like, I don't like this. This does not sound good. This sounds like another neuro situation. You know, the COD player who pretty much just got dropped for absolutely nothing, or for asking a woman for e-sex. Quite literally, that's what that was. But and then I read this sentence. I'm like, something doesn't add up here. I thought it was I read that wrong. That's my bad. I read that wrong. But I thought it was amazing that such a big content creator even knew I existed, let alone followed me on social media. He had been my role model and someone I looked up to for a long time. Ever since my days in high school. That is insane. Look. I'm all for having role models, but let's not have role models of streamers. And then it just evolves from here. However, what I learned about Sykkuno after that day would make me regret my decision. All I gotta say is, oh no, some e-boy that got popular during COVID for playing Among Us. is getting exposed for not being a great person. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, who could have seen that coming? Sykkuno is not the kind, soft spoken character you see on stream. He is a serial cheater, liar, and manipulator who uses his status to get what he wants from as many women as possible. More specifically, ones who are smaller or up and coming content creators, knowing that he can take advantage of them. Now, where have we heard that before? You know, let's see if I can find the tweet, but where have we heard that before? Hmm. Hmm. Let's see if Yvonne's posted about it. Yvonne hasn't said anything. Hold on, I'm trying to. Like, this is all live. This is within the last 3 hours, all of this has happened. Let's see if Toast has said anything. Toast hasn't said anything. Okay. Yeah, people are just. Yeah, people are. Right now, all Twitter is just people getting mad at Sykkuno for cheating. That's all it is. After confiding in many others that have had similar experiences with Sykkuno. What do you mean similar? There's more? Are the Sykkuno files not fully released? What else is the government? What else is the government redacting from the Sykkuno files? But no, this is insane. I actually don't know. I don't know. What do you mean? There's more. Now I'm going to go down a rabbit hole. We're gonna have to find these. Yeah, now I'm gonna have to go find these. Um, but I realized this was not an isolated incident. In fact, it had been something that had been going on for years. So she just went full CIA deep dive on it. Wow. Actually, actually wild. There's no way. I mean, okay, but we're gonna find these. We're going down the rabbit hole and we're gonna find it all. Sorry, I'm still setting something up for the ranked grind later today. While also trying to go through the Sykkuno files and wrap my head around this. But he had always made sure to cover his tracks and never left a paper trail significant enough for someone to make this public, but now this has all changed. These are serious allegations, and I fully understand that this should not be treated lightly. Absolutely, it shouldn't be treated lightly. Anyone who treats it lightly is an idiot. Bro, the Sykkuno files go hard, Greg. He here, I'll show you the tweet. A serial cheater, master manipulator, and dangerous predator. But she continues to go on and say, I urge all other content creators who have personally been affected by Sykkuno's behavior to not remain silent, as I believe there is strength in numbers. Here, for those of you who don't know who Sykkuno is, this is Sykkuno. He got wildly popular over COVID for playing Among Us with like people from what was offline TV. He did, but as I said, there like as I said earlier, but as I said earlier, who would have thought? Yeah, that's another thing people know him from like GTA RP and stuff like that. No, no. What I said earlier was, who would have thought an e-boy who got wildly popular in 2020 for playing Among Us and VR chat and RPing would turn out to just be a terrible person. You know, I mean, it's very possible that this is why he turned into a VTuber. But this document will not only include proof from me, but from another victim who has given me her consent as well. Below, you will find evidence that will expose his calculated pattern of love bombing and manipulation, as well as a recording of a voice call where he explicitly admits to all his wrongdoings. No, no, no. As of right now, no. As of right now, no. But this is now we're under their first conversation. You know? After Valentine's Day, I was so excited about him following me that I told a friend who then urged me to strike up a conversation. I finally worked up the courage to send him a DM and he replied right away. And this is the this is Himamal. I don't know how you pronounce it, but this is a VTuber in the space. Or a VTuber at some point in some way. Okay, this is the start with the DMs, you know? Yes, this is her. Where is it? Yeah, this is her. All right, enough stalking the Twitter account real quick. We gotta go through this. We gotta go through the Sykkuno files. This is gonna be a long time. This is gonna be a minute. And oh wait, I never read through the DMs. Are you still looking for Valentine's Day? Perhaps a little flirtatious. Okay. What? You can't just open up with something like that. And besides, Valentine's Day is almost over where I'm from already. I mean, we can always do a Valentine's Day over. You know? Greg, shut up. Nah, this is. I don't. Oh. Keep in mind, this is all this year. We know Sykkuno was in a relationship this year. This relationship predates Valentine's Day. This allegedly all took place after Valentine's Day. I don't know, man. I don't know. But in the same conversation, he brought up what kinds of games he likes to play and invited me to play with him after a convention. I can take the healing kit and occasionally heal you in it. What time is it where you're from? It's 5:48, but I have a horrible sleep schedule. 5:48. What? Oh my god. Wait, do you want to play right now if you're not tired or something? Why are you awake? Because I'm bad at sleeping. I gym at night. It's okay, I'm pretty bad at sleeping too. Shelton, this is Sykkuno. The Sykkuno, big like Among Us player, GTA RP guy, collabed with Pokimane a lot, and this guy's Toast and those guys. He's from that friend group circle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's from that circle of friends. See if I can find a good one. Yeah, this circle of friends here. But no, Shelton, as I said, who would have thought, like, who would have thought an e-boy who got popular during 2020 for playing Among Us with who he was playing Among Us with, and just that friend group in general, would turn out to be a terrible person. Maybe Sykkuno and Fedmeister were a lot closer than people thought. That's just me saying that, though. That's just me saying that. But on a real note, a friend of mine, dared me because I didn't know how to reach out. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come off weird. Lol, you weren't. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, this is an absolutely massive day for the unemployed, such as myself. I quite literally woke up to this tweet being made. I had to skim the Google Doc to make sure it was legit before I made a post about it. So I somewhat know what's going on. But this is still wild. Lol, you aren't weird at all, don't worry. And I didn't say no, I guess. Lol, JK. What games do you like to play? I'm like a massive game player. That's usually how I meet people or make friends. Well, I've been in my Overwatch addiction because of the Sanrio bundle. I mean, so far, this is all just harmless, normal discussion, right? All just harmless and normal, little flirtatious. It happens. Okay, we keep going through. Still seems a little, normal, a little bit flirty, a little at times. Who knows? Stuff like this happens. Shelton, I'm sorry, it doesn't work. I have yet to fix it. I've tried. Listen. I've tried. I haven't fixed it, so I've given up for now because I've been more focused on like three or four other things. But apart from that, I play a lot of Outlast Trials. Please say you haven't played with me. Any more people to play with Outlast Trials? I play it, but I'm pretty bad. Can you carry me? I play Overwatch a little bit. Most useful on Torb hiding behind a turret, but they nerfed that. I'm super, super goaded. Don't worry. See, you can't be talking. I just finished streaming, but I can maybe play in a little bit. Just want to get some food and shower and stuff. Of course, take your time. My Discord is Maliamal. You can just add me whenever you're free. Free anytime soon. Was just asking because I might get tired before we can play. Oh my god, I'm sorry it took so long. Well, it's fine. Just playing QP. QP. Okay, so I have a convention I have to go to. Yeah, I haven't fixed mine either. I Granted, I don't have any. Greg, I might need you. I need stream moments to shut up. Greg, I might have you stop, or I might have you fix mine, and you also need to get back into streaming. Start streaming again, Greg. I need my MX Bikes TikTok streamer. But I should sleep early tonight. Let's play tomorrow. Man, you had me waiting for a rain check. Oh, I'm sorry. I owe you one. I mean, a game or two wouldn't hurt though, right? Also, which convention? It's a small one. I'm just sponsored to go there for some Gundam game, but I have to be there early. Oh, okay. But like, it's one game. It's not like you're staying up super late. I just finished my QP game. We will play extra tomorrow, and we can do Outlast trials. Okay, are you good with horror though? Also, should I add you on Discord or what? For contact, all right. Oh, then apparently he was taking interest in where she lives. All right. Oh, OBS is having fits right now. Like I promise you, OBS is having fits. Don't know why. It might be a single PC issue. But no, he took interest in where she lives. For context, this is still the same day as the first convention, only moved to Discord, and a few hours apart since I'm EU time zone and he's the US. Things started out innocently enough with him inquiring about fun things to do near where I live, such as aquariums and conventions, TwitchCon EU, specifically. OBS is miserable, but it's one of the best things to use. It's like it's terrible to deal with, but it's one of the best. So I kind of just let it go. Thing I'd like to point out that I said we could go on a date to make up for Valentine's. He not once expressed to me any discomfort or that he wasn't single. I'll move you guys over here. Move chat over here. That is unfortunate. Alright, lol. Okay, I'll try that. Do they have an aquarium? I'm a big fan of aquariums. There's an artist in Amsterdam. We could make it a date, make up for Valentine's Day. Artist, what? Lol. Wait, how far away even is TwitchCon? Let me check. Last days for May. Well, okay, it's actually like only a few months away. Wow, it really just sneaks up. I could be talking a little quiet. Let me fix that. I think I turned the gain down on my mic. Hold on. Is that better? If not, then I gotta adjust the actual. Alright, are we better? Are we better, or am I too loud now? Alright, is that better? Alright. I turned it up a little more. Tell me if it gets a little loud. We'll adjust it again. Okay. You would also follow my personal private Instagram that is only available to my IRL friends and family while using his official Sykkuno account. Interesting. In this 2-hour Discord gaming call, the same day as our first convention, Sykkuno made plans to meet me IRL. It was set to be the same weekend as Dokumi 26, since he was flying over anyway to attend TwitchCon EU. Going to the aquarium would be our first date. I also learned there is a 15-year age gap between us. I have a lot of questions. I okay, both legal adults, I assume. I assume. I'm so bad at Outlast. Was fun hanging out though. I will find the best of reels to send. No, hun, you did great. I have friends that did way worse than you. I expected less of you. I look. That's what I thought for a second too. I was about to say, "Whoa." How old is Sykkuno? Greg, thank you for the bits. Also, when are you back? He was born in. He's 34. She's 19. All right, look, man. Look. pre 24. Anything like that, bad. Whoa. Okay, you're back Saturday night. Damn it. I was thinking about going down to hit up Black Desert this weekend if I could find someone to go with. Go golf out there, but that's fine. With Sykkuno, our relationship moved so incredibly fast it almost felt like a dream. It was like he could make anything I wanted happen. And as someone as prolific and successful as him, I had no reason to doubt anything he said to me. These screenshots show that Sykkuno and I were intending to adopt a cat and have me possibly move into his house. Whoa, now. Oh, that's a good question, Sheldon. I don't know yet. I have no plans of really leaving yet. I might be heading to Coeur d'Alene at the end of July, maybe beginning of August, and go golf at a resort there. Yeah. Go to Coeur d'Alene to golf. We'll see how my round goes this week or next weekend. Because I'm a big golfer and I'm trying to establish an official handicap now. I told him we couldn't get a cat yet due to me not being a US citizen and possibly having visa issues. Keep in mind, this conversation happened 2 days. 2 days after the first conversation? Listen, I don't have an official handicap. Stop spreading lies unless we're counting the lemonade stand as a handicap, in which case I do have one. I smell pennies. Listen. We leave the lemonade stand alone. That thing can die, all right? Oh, I get that. I'm allergic to grass, not as bad, but I can become real dizzy from it. It's like the only allergy I have, but if I ever come visit, like we don't have to always go out, as long as you're comfy. Also, aren't there pet beds for your aren't pets bad for your condition? I don't know how sensitive it is, but sometimes cat hairs can make it worse. Greg, don't worry about the lemonade stand. That's an inside joke between me and the Idahoans. Certain ones can be. It depends, though. My dog is fine. He's not very allergic. Well, my family dog, that I don't get to see as often anymore, sadly. Ooh, like a hypoallergenic pets are fine. Yeah, and even some that aren't like listed as that were okay too. Bro, the DM leaks are wild. I mean, if I'm there anyways, we'll have to think of a name. No, yeah, but I don't know if I can take care of it by myself. In the back of Tucker's, on God. Or were you just gonna name it Cat? I'll have to stay to help take care of it. Oh, you'll have to stay to help take care of it. I'm okay with that, though I don't know how that'd work with me staying there. I can't stay forever either, because I'm not an American citizen. I'll also probably have to go back as well, because I mean, I hope at least that I can go back to studying at end of this year. Oh, I'm down to run Siege again at some point. Because I mean, I hope it. And like in general, everything is expensive. Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe we can get a cat together another time then. Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay. Don't you already have a cat? Yeah, but they're my dad's. Also, did you finally order the food? Oh, I see. So you wouldn't have to bring them if you just moved somewhere? No, I guess not, though. I'd miss them so much, so I'd have to get new pets. Who I really miss, though? My dog. Yeah, I was so sad when I didn't see my dog as much. We had barely known each other for a few days, and this 34-year-old man was already expressing interest in moving in together to live in the same house. Listen, 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 listen. Listen, that is okay. Keep in mind, keep in mind, they're 19, and 34. In this screenshot, well, I've seen worse too, but it's been at most what 3 days, 4 days since Valentine's Day, 8 days, I don't know, something like that. It's only been a few days after Valentine's Day, and already he wants to move in with a 19-year-old girl. He's 34. We don't got to talk about the Yoda picture. All right, we leave the Yoda picture alone. But in this screenshot, Sykkuno said he has only ever had one relationship his entire life. I'd eventually find out that was a lie and that he had been dating and living in the same house as his girlfriend for years. And that I was not the only girl on the internet that he spoke to on a daily basis. Look, 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 look. All I gotta say is genuinely, if you're unhappy, leave. Just leave. Walk away from the relationship. I know, Sheldon. I know it's just jokes. I miss those times. Those were the good times. I mean, you've been in a relationship before. That's what I'm saying. It's that was so long ago. But I don't know. I've only ever actually dated someone once, and they broke up with me. So yeah, I think I'm just not very good. So it's probably just a me issue. Did you ever? Did you like never do anything for your ex like at all? I mean, I think I did. I don't think she thought I did. So yeah, but I mean, everyone has their own way of what they meant. So it's impossible to be like, you are you getting what you want? And if you're not, I totally understand. Such as, oh, this is getting great. Sexting. Okay, buddy. And I'll say this is on the girl pretty heavy. Like, yes, he's being a creep, but like if she, well, that's one of those issues. Is so as stated earlier, she looked up to him as a role model. Everything she thought here was being told the truth. She wasn't creeped out yet by the end of this. I just gotta say, Greg, man. Oh, oh, that's right. You're talking about Buddy. No, I'm talking about Greg. I'll call you Greg. I never call you Buddy, even though Greg's also not your name, but it's funny. Um, so as stated earlier, she looked up to him as a role model. She didn't know he was in another relationship. This was all just, yeah. This is all just. It started out as friendly, flirtatious, just normal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It turned in a lot later than that. We texted every single day, and these interactions would be charged with flirting and suggestive topics. I would send him suggestive pictures and audios, and he'd confirm that he touched himself to them. Additionally, he'd always act flustered and inexperienced, keeping up the illusion of his on stream innocent persona. Oh. Bro, it's so bad. All right, it's cooked. It's over with. Sykkuno's done for. Yeah, no, chalk it. Yeah, chalk it, chalk it. Well, it's been a good run. Sykkuno's had a fun run. But rest in peace, Sykkuno. His career will be missed. At least the earlier parts of his career. Let's see. What is the date? Okay, the screenshot dates are all over. This is all okay. So they started in February, or they started Valentine's day after, give or take a day or two. Okay. I believe we're only into March. So I don't know, man. But either way, it's at most been a month. He's in a committed relationship. He lives with his girlfriend. Apparently there's an audio proof at the end of this too. We'd also regularly talk about date ideas and things we'd like to do together in the future when we'd meet up IRL. Topics that only discussed between two adults who were clearly romantically interested in each other. I don't know what to say. On the topic of texting, we also called almost every day, even after he'd stream for over 8 hours. We'd talk and play games regularly. One thing I'd notice is that every time we called and when he spoke, he'd be whispering and never fully use his voice. His excuse was that it was because he was tired after a long stream, and I didn't find that to be suspicious. Probably. That's what they're talking about. Okay, okay. Oh, this is taking a bad turn. He gave a valid reason. I'm gonna be honest. That is a valid reason to to whisper, right? But still, come on, man. You're in a committed relationship. But using your voice for 8 hours in a row does exhaust it after all. I mean, it can if you don't know what you're doing. That's why you take frequent breaks, you drink some water, and you just relax your vocal cords. I gotta grab a monster. Let me grab a monster out of my bag. Hold on. Yes, he's had a girlfriend with this. I now realize. Oh, Shelton, you don't understand. I just woke up to this Twitter notification. All right, woke up, opened the Twitter timeline, and there it was. Like that was what was funny. But all right, you're too sweet, but you ditched TwitchCon for me. Tam on B side. I've never heard of it. Oh, let's watch something then. No, I'm drinking. It's the Ultra Strawberry Dreams. We should watch, or we watch a cooked at Netflix dating show because those are funny, or both. We should. Wait, do you want to play Helldivers, Overwatch, or a show after? Because I low key want to play Overwatch, and I want to make the most of it. She's a content creator. She's a smaller one. She's bigger than what the three of us combined would be. But she's still relatively small. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that's where she sits currently. Now, after the Sykkuno Files. Yeah, now after the Sykkuno Files. Let's say you two, yeah, like in that audio recording I sent you. Well, yes, you sounded really cute in that too. Did you ever re-listen to it or only once? Thank you. I tried my best to sound good for you. Wait, why'd you send me $81? Hmm. 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 Oh, you said you wanted the new Resident Evil game. Oh, I mean specifically 81. I don't know. It just translates to 100 for US D. Well, we'll work out together then. I can spot you. You know, gym dates are also cute. Are those even dates? It's gonna be like sweaty, and I know some people who are like, I spent 2 hours in the gym every day, and I'm like, I'd be tired before 2 hours. I mean, gym dates are interesting. I think you'd be tired in like 15 minutes max. I spend 2 to 3 hours at the gym. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of people who go to the gym, go on gym dates. It's just fun helping each other during workouts. I mean, yeah, she got a point there. Gym dates would be aight, but still, what the hell? This is I wow. I'm gonna be honest. If he wasn't in a relationship at this time, none of this would exist. Well, yeah, but still, like he's in a committed relationship. We're forgetting this part of it. Also, if you have Twitch Turbo, now's the time. I cannot stop this ad that's about to run. It's a 3-minute ad. It's a chunky boy. Well, listen, she's a cosplayer. Most cosplayers are a little bit, are not most. A good chunk of cosplayers have a little bit of sexually charged tweets. So, I mean, it is what it is. All right, we can't judge people. No, we got 3 minutes till the ad starts. I'm gonna see how much more of this document I can get through. Um, Now's the time though. If you don't want to catch ads, make sure you use your Twitch Prime sub. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run the ad now. Oh, hold on. I fixed it. I fixed it. Professional streamer, by the way. Yeah, professional streamer. Hey, listen. We don't got to talk about it. We don't got to talk about it. I forgot to do something. No, Greg. The issue here, the issue here is one. I did forget to unmute. He's in a committed relationship. Okay, that's the start of this. Okay, in the context of all of this, don't really have an issue with it, right? If you read through it, she doesn't have an issue with it. Doesn't have a full issue with it. But you just met and you're telling her this. Yeah, it's been a little sexually charged since you've started talking. It is what it is, but you just met her. We're like a month into all of this at most. Okay. We like even now, even to this day, it would only be 2 months since they met. Okay, you have all of that. He's in a committed relationship. There are a lot of weirdos and gooners online. Some people kind of are like, yeah, you know what? This might happen. It is what it is. But this is just insane. So you've never done it before? Maybe. I want a yes or no. Yes, of course I have. How could I not? Going back to sleep now. Hope that you have a good rest and that you're feeling better. And you don't have to send me what the heck, lol, but I hope you feel as good as you look. I know you said you weren't feeling too great yesterday. I'm feeling a little bit better, yeah. I love getting compliments from you. Also, good morning, handsome. What are you up to? He became a sugar daddy. Oh, God. All right, this is a great timeline. Hold on. Less than a month later, Sykkuno would randomly ask for my PayPal account in DMs. He'd then waste no time in sending me money unprompted, something that I'd later realize was simply a behavioral pattern that he'd employ with women he'd express interest in. I want to reiterate that I never asked him for money and he did this of his own volition. He bought me both a gym jacket, linked below, and Resident Evil 9 because I had expressed interest in the game. I am not your sugar daddy, Greg. I never gift you subs. All right. We have a good timeline for these right here. Okay, Valentine's Day is. I'm not going to open my Google Calendar. We're going to open the calendar down here. Okay. Valentine's Day is the 14th. Okay, so the 14th. Today is April 10th. The first one was sent 2 weeks later. And then what was that second one? The 5th of March. Almost 3 weeks later. What? Listen. We all need ourselves a sugar daddy or sugar mommy. Shelton, no, I can't be your sugar daddy. I'm not rich enough. I don't have money like that. The lemonade stand went out of business. The IRS took it. You still aren't asleep either. I fell asleep, woke up again because I'm having trouble sleeping. Well, good morning, and what's your PayPal so I can buy you games later? Straight to the point. I need to update my email to my PayPal because it's my old name from before I rebranded. Shelton, the lemonade stand is out of business. No. We didn't launder money. We were a drug front. That's just an American thing. Want me to send it back? No, I wanted you to get a nice gym vest. Well, I mean, especially because it seems like you're really passionate about working out, so I thought it'd be nice. I guess I could get another one, and then you could remember me when you're wearing it. I thought it was a cute idea. I wore it with the green set because I know how much you like green. Ah, thanks, and you look good. Oh, we have a link to a Twitter post. Okay. Yeah, again, a little sexually charged. From my understanding, she knows what she's doing. She's a cosplayer. Again, most cosplayers are post a little sexually charged content. This is what it is. Now we get into a calculated pattern of love bombing and manipulation. Oh, this is from someone else. All right. Well, where is it? Where is it? This one. All right. Now we're doing some investigation. I spelled her name wrong. Yep. 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 There's what? Oh, there's no way. There's no way. This is what we call mental illness. After speaking to Alfia, I, you know what? I'm just gonna call her Elfie. A few days ago, we were able to corroborate. On God, Shelton, on God. We were able to corroborate our experiences with Sykkuno and learn that we were both victims of his. We had no idea that he was talking to both of us at the same time. So not only was he two timing, he was three timing. Was he four timing? Bro, this is wow. This is why we say never be an e-boy, kids. You know what, Shelton? You're onto something there. But after speaking, yeah, Sykkuno is known to send hundreds of dollars to girls he wants to get involved with. This screenshot is from when he took my friend Elfie to Paris during the 25 TFT tournament, along with sending her 500 euros to help her move into her new apartment. You can clearly see this was sent from his business email. Brother. Brother. Paying for another girl to fly out to him. Oh no, no, no. Here are the DMs in which we can see the offer to pay for her flight to TFT Paris, as well as food and hotel fees, and taking care of her financially during the trip. Probably gonna go to Paris later this year for sure. I'm not sure on TwitchCon yet. I'm afraid I don't know enough people. It's unfortunate. I mean, maybe, but I'm scared. I could understand that. I'd probably be too. I only know two people, and the rest I've never met before. But that's scary. Well, I might, but you should come to Paris when I go. It's close. Paris is pretty easy to go to since it's EU. You better hang out there when I go there, and I might go to TwitchCon. I'll have to see because I know nothing and no one, and there, and it's so expensive. I'll pay for it. Don't worry. Well, really, you do that? Yeah, of course. And all for the food. To have to deal with my annoying ass. Then you get to choose places. Deal, I know you so much. Let's go, Kuno. Let's get out the boba, or let's go out to get boba. I'm hiding behind you whenever you talk to people. I'm boarding now. See you soon. You have the hotel info. You're fine. You never have to pay for anything. How much is the flight? Usually from Netherlands to Paris and back. I think I'm going for like a TFT tournament or something like that. This is insane. Wow. Hmm. You know what? I've seen enough. Off with his head. I'm kidding. I'm not like that. This is actually insane, though. Would talk to Sykkuno on and off for the span of 5 years. I might bring out the webcam just to show you the reaction. 5 years? How old is she? Please don't show something that gets me banned. All right, we're just not. It's good enough. We're just gonna dump away from that. How old is she? Alright, I'm not getting anything that'll say at age. We'll go back to this. She had absolutely no idea that he had a girlfriend in the 5 years that she had known him, and on and off flirted with him anytime she would bring up the topic of his love life. He would give the response of playing too many games and not going out to meet enough women to date. Why are you single? Like hell? It's a crazy question. It's a combination of like playing too many games. Why crazy? Same calculated behavior and patterns, using his nerdy gamer boy facade to lure women into a false narrative. You're cute. You're this sweet to all girls, or am I just lucky? Only the ones I think are cool. Started following you, yeah. There's proof that Sykkuno was in Paris for the TFT event. Greg, listen. They're cosplayers, alright? We gotta give them grace. Cosplayers are needed in this world. There's proof that Sykkuno around this time too, directly from his Twitter. I'm about to win so many prizes. Lily Pichu. Sykkuno. I was playing well and saw this player. Reminded you of you. You got reminded of me. That's cute. I was going to ask you, were you planning on going to like Offkai or something like that? On God, Greg, on God. We all need ourselves a nice cosplayer in our lives. To add even more salt to the wound, after Elfie's Paris trip and 2 weeks after he had started talking to me, saying things like how he wants to move in with me and such, he would message Elfie asking her if she'll be at Offkai. We'll go back. I'm going to go back. We're going to analyze these and double check and check things. Okay, I want to see how much overlap there really is, because that is insane. This is proof that he'd be talking to... Hold on. This is proof that he'd be talking to more than one woman at the same time, planning a hookup for every event he went to. He was doing this while giving me the impression that he wanted something long-term, all while also having a girlfriend since 2021. Elfie and I weren't friends until I found out he was cheating on his girlfriend. This is when we both got in contact with each other and shared our stories. She deserves the world. My friend I just asked said he's going to like a VTuber convention in Germany. Oh, I heard about that one, I think. I'll be there from Thursday to Monday. Fell asleep, no worries. How was your day? Spent the whole day crying right now. Oh, why do some men cheat? I'll never understand. Ironic. It's 32 pages! 32 pages! I didn't realize it was 32 pages long! Been here for an hour already. Whoa. Yeah, that's like the perfect XQC gift right now. As I mentioned in the intro, no one made a public statement before because they never had sufficient evidence. Sykkuno would always talk about the most explicit and sensitive topics on voice calls or in person, never leaving a paper trail. This was all intentional. This man is a master manipulator, everybody. He gives Drake a run for his money. Rumors still managed to spread. Many content creators, both big and small, would vent to their friends about his behavior. Behind the scenes, for many, he'd be known as a predator who regularly took advantage of smaller or vulnerable content creators. The reason why Sykkuno would abruptly stop hanging out with certain people throughout the years is because of this predatory behavior. However, he'd managed to keep enough influential friends around him to legitimize his position in the space, especially seeing that so many of those friends were women who would have normally stood in solidarity with any sort of victim, making it seem like he was safe enough to trust because they trusted him enough to be a friend. I'm not saying this is why he turned into a VTuber, but I'm just saying this is why he turned into a VTuber. He needed to solidify himself. I see now. I see why the big jump happened. What's Pokey say on this? I don't follow Pokemon anymore. I do still follow Pokemon. Let me fix that. Nothing. Okay, nothing there. Let's see what Valkyrie has to say. Absolutely nothing yet. I don't think they're gonna make statements on this. I really don't think they're gonna make statements on this. As Elfie spoke with Sykkuno, she'd tell him about rumors that she had heard from someone else about how Sykkuno had a roster of readily available women, and how they all coincidentally were smaller content creators who wouldn't dare touch him if something went wrong. Oh yeah, no, like without a doubt. Tectone and like Pokey's so out of touch now, it's insane. Which also says if Pokey still holds Sykkuno close, listen, we might have an issue there. Just saying. Elfie, of course, didn't believe this. After all, Sykkuno had a calculated pattern that worked perfectly in his favor. His innocent, naive demeanor wouldn't dare hurt a fly. So why would he hurt me? It's about to be the next Palm Beach Pete. On God. On God. I don't know. He said he dislikes you and that you only go for girls that are small so you can manipulate them with your shy persona. Yeah, he is doing that to my friend right now. Yeah, I mean, I think that's true, but I guess some people will say, I don't think that's true, but I guess people will say stuff randomly. I'm confused as to why these people who think I'm going for them, I haven't really done that. But anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, like I said before, people who know me will know me, and I guess he just dislikes me, which is totally fine. Exactly, he did say the only reason you haven't gotten called out is because you go after small content creators. They'll never expose you if you ever need proof of anything I've received, just in case he tries anything funny. The way VTubers are, they would love to try and expose bigger streamers. They love drama, but it's not true, so I think it's fine. I don't need receipts, but I think he was chill. I'm kind of sad. I know, I'm just making sure you stay safe no matter what, love. Oh, serious. I mean, why is he bringing me up so much anyway? He's jealous of you. I'm just playing League with him and he brought you up out of the blue. I think there's much to be jealous of. I have no idea. Hopefully he feels better soon. Said you hurt 5 of his friends, apparently. Sykkuno's girlfriend. Ho. 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 What a message to scroll down to. We'll get to that later. The coincidence that would lead me to finding out the truth about Sykkuno happened last week. Popular male VTuber tried to slide in my DMs to presumably get my pounds. When I rejected him, he immediately started to mention nasty rumors about Bao. Out of concern for her, I reached out to a mod who then connected me with Bao. The 3 of us struck up a conversation when I mentioned I was nervous about a date I was going on. They asked me who it was. When I said my date was Sykkuno, they immediately told me not to go on the date for my own personal safety. Bao told me that at the end of March, Sykkuno's girlfriend reached out to her regarding controversial tweet Bao made last year. She asked Bao if it was true that the tweet was about Sykkuno. I assume they're talking about here Bao the whale. I could be. Oh, yep. They're talking about Bao the whale. I don't think that's what they're getting mad at. Hold on. We might have some more of a story here. There might be more to this than we thought. Wow! Mujin had this on standby. We're watching the Mujin video after too. Mujin had this on standby. This was calculated and coordinated. All right. We're gonna load this up. Yep, yep. We're loading that up, and we're gonna hold on to that. All right, Mujin got the video within 2 hours of the document being posted. All right, we gotta finish this so we can watch the Mujin video. They called Bao and explained to her that other women had confided in her about similar experiences with him. She described a pattern of behavior where he targeted small female content creators, pressured them into having sex with him. Bao then offered to connect her with those other victims so they could share their experiences with her directly, as she felt it was important to hear them firsthand. So it was all discussed during a Discord call. Hey Bao, I'm sorry to bother you with this, but I heard something recently that was a bit concerning and I thought I would just come ask you about it. I heard there was possibly an instance of Sykkuno trying to get VTuber girls up to his hotel room to drink with them, and that the tweet you made about being cautious of large male streamers showering you with gifts and attention was about him, in regards to him doing it to one of your friends. That makes sense. Then the Bao tweet makes sense. Oh, it's all coming together now. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, no. Everything's making sense. Everything. Everything. That. All right. I now understand why Bao made her tweet like she did. Okay. I understand it now. I understand it now. Greg, because you remember, like I was at work when this happened. Like I was at work and I talked to you about some of this. Bao told me that 3 days before I contacted her and her mod, Sykkuno and his girlfriend were trying to reconcile after Sykkuno managed to convince her that it was all a huge misunderstanding. She had no clue that I, as well as many other girls, still existed in Sykkuno's romantic and sexual life. Shelton, I'm a framer now. I'm still a framer. Bao and her mod would put me in a group chat with Sykkuno's girlfriend where I would share all of the screenshots you see above. She was rightfully horrified and left the group chat because she couldn't stomach reading them. Oh, I still do insurance. So I still sell insurance. It's just harder to sell right now, but I'm a framer to kind of bridge the gap on the lean months. I never finished my real estate course mainly because I saw how the market was going and realized that's not where we want to go. lived with him for over 2 years. We have been together since 21. Everything he's planning with you are things we have planned together and talk about have done. I'm sorry. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ever since Sykkuno's viral breakout during the pandemic lockdowns of 2020 when he played Among Us, he has always carefully curated every aspect of his behavior on stream and with friends. An innocent, romantically inexperienced boy failure who looks like an anime character and sounds like one too. This perfectly curated image would attract a large audience of women, with a lot of them openly professing how attracted they are to him. He soaked in the praise and never sought to limit the most extreme aspects of his community because it made him more desirable. It's actually kind of cool. Nice. I hope you can get your CDL pretty quick, Shelp. All right, let's see this. Let's see. Where was I? He understood this and would use this curated image as well as his legitimacy in the content creation space, thanks to his followers and his famous friends, to seek out any attractive cosplayers or content creators that were small enough to be starstruck by his grand presence. It would work most of the time, as he'd use the same calculated pattern that he used with me and Alfie to lure them in, and eventually fly them out to the next convention or event he went to with the goal of hooking up. Damn! So the Google Docs hitting a little close to home is what I'm hearing, Joe. What these many women didn't know, though. Jesus, you caught her? Damn. Damn! It's actually insane. Holy shit. So that he'd always lie about the fact that he's single. Behind the scenes, he had a neglected, depressed girlfriend that he'd been with since 21, who has lived with him since 24 in the same house. I implore that many other victims I implore the many other victims to come out about their experiences with this predator, and I end this document with a recording of Sykkuno in which he admits to everything, especially with how he cheated on his girlfriend with my friend, and was intending to do that with me as well. For context, this was shortly after I messaged his girlfriend about cheating. 30 minutes later, he would ask if I was free for a call. As his girlfriend was crying downstairs, he somehow chose to prioritize someone that he barely met 2 months ago. I also pointed this out during the call. The last thing you ever said to him. Making food, but you know why, and I think I should explain. Ominous much, not ominous, just the truth. It's 6:50 and I'm making breakfast. But if you're not interested, that's fine too. I'll give you the short version if you can't call. I can call in a few minutes. Let me go upstairs. I'm beyond disappointed in you. Ah, that's how you're gonna. Damn, that fucking sucks. I hope it all works out for you though. Really do. But that sucks. Stream elements, get out of here. Oh, this is an 18-minute video. Massive day for the unemployed. Yup. I gotta make sure that this audio comes through though. Which one is it? Which one is it? Okay, it works. I'm gonna have to adjust.
Hello.
Let me adjust
Thomas?
Hello.
So?
Well, pretty much know most of it.
Yeah? Like what?
Know what?
All right, we're gonna watch
you
this.
can tell me.
Okay. Well, wasn't very honest.
Oh.
About sing.
About what? You have to speak up a little bit. Your mic's cutting out.
Sorry, always happens. About being single, and I just wanted to tell you how everything happened.
Uh-huh. You're still gonna have to speak up a little bit, by the way. You're still cutting out a lot.
Sorry, you know how I talk quietly.
Yeah, but you never talk this quietly.
That's fair. You know, I mean, that's a great way to cheat it. Add in 2
I'm
minutes.
sad.
I lied.
It's
I'm
the
just
actions
it.
of your... Well, it's the consequence of your own actions, I suppose.
I know.
Mm.
So basically, I was in a very happy relationship.
Doesn't sound like...
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. Here, let's restart it real quick. Audio is good, right? We're good. Audio's good. Volume's good. Everything's good. I'm posting this. I don't care. Okay. This is genuinely just like massive day for the unemployed.
Hello.
Thomas?
Hello.
So?
Well, pretty much know most of it.
Yeah? Like what?
Know what?
No, you can tell me.
Okay. Well, wasn't very honest.
Oh.
About sing.
About what? You have to speak up a little bit. Your mic's cutting out.
Sorry, always happens. About being single, and I just wanted to tell you how everything happened.
Uh-huh. You're still gonna have to speak up a little bit, by the way. You're still cutting out a lot.
Sorry, you know how I talk quietly.
Yeah, but you never talk this quietly.
I'm sad.
It's the actions of your... Well, it's the consequence of your own actions, I suppose.
I know.
Mm.
So basically, I was in a very happy relationship.
Doesn't sound like it, but sure.
Well, let me finish.
Uh-huh,
I
continue.
was in a very happy relationship a long time ago.
Long time ago. What, like
And then,
2021?
I don't know the exact time, honestly, but a long time ago. Then it got a lot less happy.
How so?
I don't fully know. She just stopped hanging out with me that much, and
Stop hanging out with you. She lives with you.
yeah, I mean,
You're gonna have to speak up. I can't hear a single sentence that comes out of your mouth.
Is this part of the video or did it just stop? No, it's part. Wow.
You there?
yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm just asking because you went quiet.
Anyway, so I was very, very happy.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, it wasn't so happy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly when, but like we stopped spending time together. We hadn't done it together for years.
Or what? I couldn't hear that part.
I said we hadn't done anything together for like years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just very sad and alone. Didn't feel wanted at all.
Mm-hmm. So you slept with Alfie in Paris.
So, so you weren't happy at all. Okay. Haven't done anything together in years. You're still together with her. She still lives with you. You know, there are steps you could have taken, you know, and you could have like avoided this being as big as it was. Just say it. You know, we could have cut the cheating part out of this entirely. Entirely. And this is what you do?
Yeah.
And then you flirted with me. And were telling me how you wanted me to come visit you in Vegas, and how you wanted to go on a date, and how you were serious about me, and how you really meant it, and how you wanted to go get a cat together.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? Why didn't you just break off the relationship then?
Because a combination of remembering how it was, some part of me hoping it would go back to that, and
Well, obviously it's not gonna go back to that if you're actively cheating on her. It's only gonna get worse. I think that's really on you, bud. And I know you're
Yeah.
smarter than that.
I'm not.
I mean, for fuck's sake, you're a 34-year-old man. Yes, you are. Stop acting like you're a child.
Don't think that's what I'm acting like, but
I mean, you say you're not smarter than that, but you are. You're a 34-year-old man. You just chose to do it. You knew damn well in the back of your head that it wasn't gonna end up well.
yeah. But it's complicated.
It's really not.
So-
Cheating is just bad. She hasn't done anything to ask for it to be cheated on. It's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, but she relied on me to take care of a lot of things, and I still cared about her.
Okay, that doesn't mean that you do that because you wanted to, not because she was like holding it against you or forcing you to.
No.
Exactly. So there's still no excuse for you to cheat on her.
Not saying there was one. Just explaining why it happened.
The only reason why it happened is because you just chose to do it. I don't know why you decided to lie to me, because you know damn fucking well that lying especially is like a big thing I do not tolerate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was fine about the Alfie thing, because I was like, okay, he didn't know me before that, right? But then I find out you've had a girlfriend this entire time. Do you realize how fucked up that is? Because not only were you... Because, sure, you didn't lead Alfie on. Alfie acknowledges that you didn't lead her on, right? Because I've talked to Alfie. I'm friends with her. I've been friends with her before I even met you.
Okay.
Like, she acknowledges that you didn't lead her on. You led me on, though. You did lead me on, though.
Yeah.
You gave me all these fucking fancy-ass promises about, oh, we're gonna go on a date when you can visit here. What, so you could cheat on your girlfriend again? So you could sleep with me so you could cheat on your girlfriend again?
That wasn't...
Oh no, oh no, oh no, no, it gets worse. It gets so much worse. Oh no. Well, that's it. It's a wrap. I want to thank you all for coming to this for this edition. Have you already seen the video, Shelton? Did you go and watch this video already? Oh no, all of the there's gonna be a lot of hate thrown her way too, and genuinely there shouldn't be any hate thrown her way. She didn't know. Not like this. Greg with the bit single-handedly
What were you intending
financially
with that?
adding to my crippling addiction of
Well-
CS gambling.
I thought it was going to be over.
But what?
Like, I thought that was gonna be the end of that.
Oh,
The end of what?
my previous relationship.
You were gonna break up with so you could date me, or what?
Well, like I said, it'd been a long time where like we hadn't spent time together, hadn't done anything in years,
Mm-hmm.
and in my head, I thought that was at some point be over.
What? I couldn't hear you.
I said I thought that meant that was going to be like the end of it.
So you were already moving on before you even broke up with her. Were you
Yes.
intending to break up with her, or were you just waiting for her to break up with you?
No, I don't know. It was
So-
just a really weird
I
mix
just
of like
want to understand this. So what was your intention with me? Like where was I in this whole thing? Like, were you intending to date me after her? Like, were you intending to just ditch me to go date me?
I mean, I guess for me, it felt like it was already. Oh,
But that's not what I asked. I'm talking about me.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
You were thinking to just ditch her and then date me. What, were you gonna do the same thing to me? I'm sorry, but like, you're not really selling this whole relationship thing really well. If this is type of relationship you uphold.
It's fine. I'm not trying to sell it.
I can tell.
Just trying to explain to you what's going on.
Yeah. The thing is, if I never reached out to Bao, because I didn't even reach out to Bao about you, right? I reached out to Bao about because lied behind my back to a bunch of people, and I was not okay with that. And then started lying about Bao. That's when I reached out to Bao. I became friends with her roommate, and then I was talking with a little bit back and forth, and then you came up in a topic,
I cannot stop the ad that's running.
and then she told me you had a girlfriend, and that
So make sure you have
your
a Prime
girlfriend's been
sub
venting to
or
Bao this entire
Turbo.
time
and use it so you can skip the ads and we can continue on the
about
Sykkuno
how
Files.
you gaslight her into staying. You make her feel bad anytime that she like wanted to leave because you cheated on her, and she knew that you cheated on her. She just didn't know who. Because you never told her that it was Elfie, you just told her that you cheated on her in Paris. I think. I don't know if you told her, but I knew she knew.
Yeah, I did tell him.
Why? Why go through all of this trouble?
Because didn't know how to
I mean, for God's sake, if the only thing why you even stayed with her is because she relied on me for a lot of things, you can afford to take care of her for a little bit before she gets back onto her like her feet. Like, at least don't put her through the trouble of like telling her like, oh, like I'm still gonna be with you, like telling her that you're still her fucking boyfriend while actively cheating on her every single day.
yeah, I mean you're right. I should have just said how I felt.
Like, you could have just deadass, if the only thing that you were concerned about is the fact that she relied on you for things, you could have just supported her until she got back onto her feet, so she could support herself. You know?
And it wasn't just that.
Then what
I
else?
think somehow hoping it would go back to how things used to be.
Well, I also already told you, cheating is not going to make it go back to how it used to be.
It's a lot easier to say that when
It's the truth. It's the harsh truth. Nothing is going to go back the same way that it was if you're going to cheat on someone actively.
well, that's why I'm going to change.
You're going to change what?
That's it. Everything.
What do you mean that's it?
Just gonna change that.
You're going to stay with her?
You're right.
Because honest to God, I feel like the poor girl's been through enough. I don't think you should have to sit there and keep doing this to her. Because I was in a group chat with her while you were on stream. And this girl's absolutely fucking distraught because of the shit that you've done to her. The shit that you've put her through. Like, genuinely. Do you know how much that fucks someone up? Like, you already cheated on her once, and she decided to trust you still. She decided to stay with you, despite the fact that you already had cheated on her and admitted to it. And what do? You go onto fucking Twitter and go find the next girl to fucking flirt with. Like, if anything, honest to God, I'm not even mad at this point. I'm just disappointed. I'm really disappointed.
Yep, that's fair.
Because she's been crying to Bao about it. Bao's been sitting there, like, comforting this girl, trying to tell her, hey, maybe you should leave him. Because this isn't okay. This really isn't okay. You're putting this girl through mental strain. Every single day. That you continue to be with her. While you're sitting there having fun playing with your fucking friends. Be so honest right now, Thomas.
So you think, and you might be right.
Yeah. Like, if it is money that she doesn't have,
Oh, yeah,
or if it's a job,
just over.
or if it's family, or
I
blah blah blah
already
blah.
gave her a lot.
Yeah, well, there, exactly. Just help her back on her feet until she can support herself, and then just leave the girl alone. Because she deserves better than that. Because you cannot sit there and be like, I love her, but do all of this shit to her, and continue to let her stay in that situation.
Well, one part of that wasn't true.
What?
I mean, I think the feelings faded.
Well, then you should just let her go. Instead of just sitting her there, wasting her time.
Okay, well, anyway.
And also, why'd you get on a call with me when right now, she's upset? I know she lives with you.
I already talked to her.
Yeah, you should be
And
there
I
to...
told her I'm going to talk to you first.
You should be there to comfort her. She's the one that you cheated on.
No, I'm going to be doing that. I just wanted to settle this first.
This is not settled. I'm beyond upset with you. Like, genuinely beyond upset with you.
Oh.
I mean, that's fine. By settled, I mean, like, that's it. Like,
What's it?
probably never talking again.
You and me?
Yes.
What? Why?
Is that not why?
What is why? I'm still upset with you, but you didn't cheat on me. You can still talk to me and be, like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong, because I always am there for second chances. But I never will forgive you for cheating on her. That's that.
Wait a minute. No, 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 no. We all heard what I just heard, right? I don't even think that's the issue there, Sheldon. Like, I'm all for second chances, but a second chance in a relationship? No, I mean, I know this. Once a cheater, always a cheater. just from my exes that I've dated. We don't got to talk about those. But no. You don't. No. You don't actively sit there and tell him, yeah, no, I'll give you a second chance. No. It's not how you deal with cheaters like this. It's not how you do it. But, come on. No, I don't. I mean, you do you. I'm not going to fault you for this. Greg, I don't know. I don't know, but this is. Listen.
There are a lot of girls that are upset with you, by the way, because Alfie's not the only one that has hit me up.
Listen, I don't know. We're gonna finish this video though.
That sounds like you've heard things.
Yeah, and you lied to me a lot about that too.
Listen. He's gonna continue to lie to you because he knows he can get away with it. Even if you find out eventually, he knows he can get away with it.
A lot. Because how big was the roster again?
I don't think I ever had one of those.
I mean, maybe not at the same time, but you sure do hop around.
Suppose so.
Yeah. All I care about right now is that he's okay. Keep me updated on that.
I don't know if that's a possibility.
You can keep me updated on how she's doing. You can keep me updated on when she moves out, because I don't think she should be living with you anymore.
I don't think you need me to do that.
I mean, yeah, I care about her. Like,
yeah, she can do that.
True. I'll just reach out to her then. But, yeah, no, just... Like... Go talk to her. She needs you right now.
Yeah, okay. Oh, bye.
Bye, Thomas.
When you become DBN out pocket. DBN out. Or yeah, DBN out. I'm gonna watch this later. That's a later video. I could say there. I think she'll be disillusioned towards the or I think she'll be disillusioned as everything fully digests. But okay, wow. As we said, massive day for the unemployed. We are, in fact, like, this is actually like an insane day for the unemployed. And oh, don't worry, we have a Mujin video to watch too.
Girlfriend of 4 years has recently become obsessed with a male streamer, and I feel really uncomfortable about it. This was a post made on the subreddit r/relationship.
Oh yeah, like without a doubt, it's unbelievably easy to manipulate for that. But I mean, come on, man, this is insane. Also, Shelton, to answer your question earlier, he's moving back home and he's gonna go back to work at an AutoZone. But he's doing all right for himself. He's doing pretty good.
Advice around the end of 2020. What was particularly shocking here is that barely just a few days after making that initial post, he'd end up breaking.
He was out here with me for a while. He lived over by UVU, actually about 100 yards from where they got Kirk. From where Kirk got kirked. But
up with his girlfriend. Her obsession with that streamer was that irrational. And during that time, she wasn't the only one who might have felt this way. That's because the male streamer in question here was none other than Sykkuno, a name and face that had become a core memory of the COVID-19 pandemic, more specifically when everyone was locked up in their homes. In the span of less than a year, he would go from having 1,000 average viewers on Twitch to 50,000, even having a stream where he peaked at over 100,000 concurrent viewers. What he'd be most known for was his gameplay of Among Us with his friends, who happened to be very big content creators as well. Not only would he get tens of thousands of concurrent viewers on Twitch, but he would get millions.
No, I got rid of the Jew comment because, well, listen, you never know when Netanyahu is listening. All right, I want to be able to keep my head, okay? I don't want to get drone striked by the big Yahoo, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Millions upon millions of views on his YouTube channel as well. And while his rise to fame is definitely incredibly impressive, what was truly unparalleled here is his extremely high ratio of female viewers, confirmed to having been higher than any of his other content creator friends. His handsome look, his anime sounding voice, and his witty jokes made women go rabid. In fact, there was also a joke that he would turn male fans gay. But what made him really desirable is just how socially awkward he was. He was innocent in an endearing way. He was a boy failure that needed a woman to fix him. In a nutshell, he was this picture,
Yeah,
almost
that's true, Sheldon.
allergic
That's
to
my
other
bad.
women. He just couldn't handle anything romantic. He would get too flustered. This made many of his fans want to be the one to finally fix him. But make no mistake here, this was all a perfectly crafted image that he had made for himself. He wanted you to think that he was innocent, naive, a boy failure, someone who's inexperienced in relationships and would never hurt a fly. Because in reality, behind this mirage, this illusion, there was a master manipulator, a serial cheater, and a predator.
I still think it's insane that Mushin had this video out. I think it was an hour or two after the Google Doc dropped. The files get bigger. The files get worse.
Someone who would make it a point for many years to target smaller content creators, take full advantage of the fact that he was one of the most desirable men in the streaming world, all while making it seem like he had no experience with women and that it just might be romantic. They just might be that special someone who can fix him. What he would somehow forget to tell them, though, is that he had been in a monogamous relationship since 2021. But you don't have to take my word for it, because he admits to everything in a recorded voice call with the victim herself. And on top of that, that same victim, who goes by the name of Hemamal VT, would choose to write a Google Doc that shows the entire timeline, her and Sykkuno's DMs together, as well as the DMs of another victim that actually slept with Sykkuno while being totally oblivious to the fact that he has been in a relationship since 2021. This might be one of the most impactful and longest running lies in content creation history. I want to thank the two victims in question for trusting me with this very heavy topic and for allowing me to make the first comprehensive video on it. So without further ado, let's get right into this mess. Alright, so first off, who the hell is Sykkuno? Well, before starting his streaming career, he actually used to be a software engineer working in the Bay Area of California. His monotonous office life would change forever, though, when he would meet Lily Pichu, a well-known content creator who actually started making content as far back as 2012. However, when they met, she was far from being the very well-known content creator that we know today. It was back during the Season 3 World Championship for League of Legends during the year of 2013, so barely a year into her content creator journey. Sykkuno would be aware of her content. He'd reach out to her and would want to meet her, seeing that they're both at the same place. Lily Pichu agreed, thinking, oh, am I about to meet a fan? That's awesome. She'd be absolutely shocked when that fan would show up with a massive bouquet of flowers. As she was about to thank him, he would run away back to his cousins. According to him, these were his only friends at the time. He was that lonely. He was simply too embarrassed to interact with her further. This interaction left it.
Already it started. Oh, from that first interaction. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. No, for those of you here. I'll show you guys what I was talking about. This is the tweet I was talking about. Bao made this tweet, it all makes sense now. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Wow. Brother.
A good impression on Lily Pichu, and they kept in touch for years to come. In fact, as she would start her streaming journey, she'd play with her friends, and one of those friends would be Sykkuno. Her viewers would start to express interest in him, especially seeing that his voice sounded like an anime character. There was genuine demand in her community to know what he looked like. What they didn't know, though, was that Lily Pichu had already shown him. He was there with her when she went to Summoners Con 2015, and he was right there with her in her vlog. But most of her community were simply not aware of this. So seeing that there was growing demand to see what he looked like, they decided to do a face reveal live on Lily Pichu's stream around the year of 2019.
Yeah. You're such a dear. Oh, okay, here we go. Wait, you're actually so much braver than I thought.
Only because you're here.
Alright, I'm in the stream.
Get up.
And as you can see, the chat was definitely not disappointed. In fact, Lily Pichu had such an impact on Sykkuno that she would be, well, the main reason why he would start streaming. And you can hear him say that himself.
So what convinced you to start streaming?
Lily, actually.
And speaking of streaming, he would start doing so shortly after revealing his
Okay, that was pre-Sykkuno. That's pre-Sykkuno we all know today.
face on Lily Pichu's stream. He'd start in the beginning of 2019 with barely under 100 viewers, but as the months would go by, he would start to get very rapid growth. He would really start putting in serious hours by August 2019, and within just 1 year, by August 2020, he'd be sitting at 8,000 average viewers, reaching a peak of 15,000. But how? Why? Well, during his streams, he would continue playing with Lily Pichu. And seeing that Lily Pichu has a lot of big content creators that she calls friends, she would introduce them to Sykkuno. It turned out that this guy was very easy to talk to. He was witty, he made jokes, and the communities of the many streamers actually enjoyed his company. All of these factors combined would be the perfect catalyst for when the quarantine season of COVID-19 would arrive. He would start to play the game Among Us with some of the biggest content creators on the planet, and within just 4 months, he would go from 8,000 average viewers all the way up to 50,000 average viewers, peaking at 100,000 viewers in.
How do you think I am then, Sheldon? Because I haven't really changed so. I mean, I've gotten a little taller and I've slimmed out a little bit, but I'm still that ugly motherfucker from high school.
One stream. He was gaining half a
And even I look better than that. Just saying.
million followers every single month. In just the span of like a year and a half, he had gone from being a mid-tier streamer to one of the biggest on the entire platform. It wasn't just Twitch though. He would be getting
I'm gonna leave you guys with
upon
this. I'll be
millions
right
of
back.
views on his YouTube videos as well. He was killing it on every single platform he was on. And so by 2022, when YouTube was aggressively recruiting Twitch streamers to stream on their platforms instead, offering them multi-million-dollar deals, they targeted Sykkuno, seeing that he's extremely brand friendly, has a very loyal audience, and had become a household name in such a short time. So on May 2nd, 2022, he would announce to the world that he was moving to YouTube on a 2-year exclusive contract. And as you can tell by the engagement, this post went viral. What I really want you to understand though is just how valuable he was seen by companies and platforms. Back when YouTube was aggressively recruiting talents that were on Twitch, Twitch and their confidence and hubris, seeing that they completely dominated the streaming scene at the time, would never bother offering a counteroffer. On the very rare occasion that they did, it was a very big deal, and guess what? They made an exception to Sykkuno. They gave him a counteroffer higher than YouTube. Sykkuno would go back to YouTube and show them Twitch's new offer, and YouTube would offer to pay even more. His contract alone is estimated to be around $5 million. Sykkuno, though, also had interests in other communities, such as VTubers. In 2023, for an April Fool's joke, he would debut his first VTuber model, extending his reach to a new niche community. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because at some point he was invited to a call with the Senator Bernie Sanders alongside Valkyrae and Pokimane. And instead of showing his face, he chose to be a VTuber. This was so ridiculous and it went so viral that he inadvertently kind of became a spokesperson for VTubing in one stream. I mean, God, everyone wanted a piece of that guy. You would see him everywhere, collabing with everyone. And this was partly due to his very loyal and almost rabid fan base. But it was, of course, all by design. You see, back in 2023, Pokimane would make the very interesting revelation that Sykkuno had the highest female demographic fan base compared to any other streamer, her included. She would compare his level of fame and the way his fans acted towards him to K-pop idols. He simply wasn't seen like the run-of-the-mill Twitch streamer. No, there was definitely more to this. And one of the main reasons why this worked out so well is because he was seen as a boy failure. No, not the kind of guy who's unemployed and lives in a dump and smells like shit. I'm talking about the ideal boy failure. The guy who's handsome, smells nice, doesn't live in a dump, but is instead just a hopeless romantic. Someone who turns all red when you want to initiate physical contact. The most innocent, naive soul imaginable. The appeal of a boy failure isn't necessarily that he's a failure. It's the fact that he's perfect but just needs one person to fix him. And that's how a significant chunk of his fan base felt. If you've watched my channel before, then it's not too different from a girl failure that has a male audience that wants to fix her. It's the same parasocial mess. This can be very easily seen in some of the most viral fan-made videos of Sykkuno, like this one for example, sitting at over 3 million views. Sykkuno tells his trauma about girls. Sykkuno trusts his friend, Disguised Toast, more than the girls. So this guy had barely any romantic experience, and yet still, he had his heart broken. He needs a woman that will fix him and tell him it'll be okay. And maybe she'll be one of his fans. If only he knew how handsome and amazingly desirable he was though. Because he's another fan-made video. Everyone's simping for Sykkuno because who doesn't? I mean, God, if only he wasn't a boy failure and understood how smooth he was with women. But he's too naive. Because guess what? This video, sitting at over 4 million views, is titled Sykkuno being smooth with girls for 14 minutes. Yeah, I think you get the point by now, right? This image of him that was so carefully crafted would attract a very large female audience. It would also allow him to be one of the only male streamers to constantly be able to hang out with a majoritarily female friend group without him or them getting in trouble with their fan bases due to jealousy. The guy was innocent, allergic to love, and he wouldn't hurt a single fly. This allowed him to do things that other male...
No. Look at that face. He knows what he's doing. Look at him. He knows what he's doing. Nah, he knows. Yeah, no, he knows.
Content creators could never do. Like, dude, this is him sniffing the armpit of Fuslie at some point during a podcast when they were talking about body odor. This is how much he was trusted around women. And even though his audience was very obsessed over him, they saw him as so awkward, so incapable of understanding what love or social cues mean that this was fine. They didn't mind, because they were going to be the ones to fix him anyway. So it comes as no surprise that yes, some relationships literally ended over the girl's obsession over him. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if some gay relationships ended because of the same reason too. He was just that much of a sensation, and that crafted image he built around himself was just so believable and convincing. And so he'd keep on doing what he's always done, and after his 2-year contract with YouTube would finally end during May 2024, he would make his grand comeback to Twitch, peaking at over 26,000 viewers. However, his viewer count would slowly begin to drift. And by April 2026, he'd be sitting at 1,665 average viewers, a far cry from the peak of the pandemic back at 50,000. He'd also stopped collabing with larger content creators as much as he used to, mostly sticking to himself. But hell, I mean, 1,600 average viewers is still very easy to make a living off of. He had made his millions of dollars, had this incredibly obsessive fan base. As far as content creator careers go, this really wasn't so bad. The guy was a multi-millionaire. What people weren't aware of, though, is that for many years since becoming a viral sensation, he would use his status as Sykkuno, as the most desirable streamer imaginable, as this K-pop idol, to pursue relationships with smaller or up-and-coming content creators, whether they be cosplayers or VTubers, manipulating them into thinking that they were special, all in the hopes of hooking up with them and while being in a monogamous relationship. This is the real Sykkuno. And now we finally have proof. Hemamal VT, who I'll refer to as Mal from now on, is someone who has been making content for the last year. She occasionally streams from time to time, but also tends to post cosplays on her Twitter profile, some of them being revealing. Those revealing cosplays would catch Sykkuno's attention, and he'd follow her on Valentine's Day of 2026. Within barely a few days, he would start talking about how they should move in together into the same house, all while having a girlfriend. When Mal would find out about the girlfriend, she would decide to write a Google document. The Google document would contain Mal's side of the story as well as Elfie Leah's side of the story.
So Shelton, I have a 3-monitor setup. So I have Twitch on one, I have Discord and OBS on the other. And I use the third one, you know, kind of as like that, pull up tabs, pull up other stuff.
Story. Another VT
7800 XTX. Find out real quick. Oh, 7700X. Or 7700 XT.
YouTuber who, of course,
It works,
also
like,
posts
everything runs
cosplays
really
from time
well
to
on
time,
it.
which is why Sykkuno was interested.
But
in
I
it
also
to
have a
begin with.
decent
She also had
CPU
no idea that
behind it.
Sykkuno had a girlfriend and would meet up with him during December
And 32
2025
gigs
in
of RAM.
Paris when he would travel for a convention. Unlike Mal, though, she would actually end up sleeping with Sykkuno, again, completely oblivious that he has a girlfriend. They would both share their stories and the DMs with Sykkuno in the Google document. This document would be 32 pages long, and it would detail both of their experiences with Sykkuno, leading up to the revelation of the fact that he has a girlfriend, as well as a link to the full 17-minute YouTube video in which Mal would confront Sykkuno about cheating on his girlfriend with her. Here's how it would start off. On Valentine's Day of this year, I was followed on Twitter by Sykkuno. I thought it was amazing that such a big content creator even knew I existed, let alone followed me on social media. He had been my role model and someone I looked up to for a long time, ever since my days in high school. However, what I learned about Sykkuno after that day would make me regret my decision. Sykkuno is not the kind, soft-spoken character you see on stream. He is a serial cheater, liar, and manipulator who uses his status to get what he wants from as many women as possible. More specifically, ones who are smaller or up-and-coming content creators, knowing that he can take advantage of them. After confiding in many others that have had similar experiences with Sykkuno, I realized that this was not an isolated incident. In fact, it was something that had been going on for multiple years. He always made sure to cover his tracks and never left a paper trail significant enough for someone to make this public. But now, this has all changed. These are serious allegations, and I fully understand that this should not be treated lightly. I urge all other content creators who have been personally affected by Sykkuno's behavior to not remain silent, as I believe that there is strength in numbers. This document will not only include proof from me, but from another victim who has given me her consent as well. Below, you will find evidence that will expose his calculated pattern of love bombing and manipulation, as well as a recording of a voice call where he explicitly admits to all his wrongdoings, everything. Alright, so already this is one hell of an intro to the document, right? One thing I want to point out is the urging of all other content creators who have been personally affected by Sykkuno to come out about this. As I had already mentioned, there are many people who were affected by his actions throughout the year.
Nice! I wish I had that.
In fact,
I'm
if
not
Sykkuno
quite there.
traveled to any expo or convention or event, then you can bet a hefty sum of money that he always had someone there who he flew out, hoping that he could bring them to his hotel room. Anyway, the next section of the document would be titled, Our First Conversation. After Valentine's Day, I was so excited about him following me that I told a friend who then urged me to strike up a conversation. I finally worked up the courage to send him a DM, and he replied right away. So here we can see on the 15th of February, Mal would send, "Are you still looking for a Valentine's date, perhaps?" To which Sykkuno would say, so innocently, "What? You can't just open up with something like that? And besides, Valentine's Day's almost over where I'm from already." To which you would reply with,
have fun, Greg.
We can always do a Valentine's
Send me
Day
pictures of your
do-over, you know?
toes.
In the same first conversation, he brought up what kind of games he liked to play and invited me to play with him after a convention. On the left image, we can see them discussing sleep schedules, right? Understanding what time it is for her, what time it is for him. And on the right image, we can see him say, what games do you like to play? I'm like a massive game player. That's usually how I meet people or make friends, to
It wasn't at the time. It was more expensive when I got it.
be honest. The next couple
Otherwise,
of
I
images, we
would
can
have
see
gotten
Sykkuno
the
talk about the
9060.
game he was playing, which was Outlast Trials, saying that maybe Mal could carry him. She would agree, give him her Discord, and then wonder, hey, are you done soon with your
Because I've had this exact PC for almost 2 years now.
stream because I'm getting tired. She hadn't slept all night. She was pulling an all-nighter. He'd apologize for taking so long, and then he'd say that he has a convention to go to. So after making her wait for like a few hours, he would say, hey, listen, can we just play tomorrow? I have a convention to go to. And they would agree, okay, let's play after the convention. This is what would lead us to the next section. Interest in where I live. For context, this is still the same day as the first conversation, only moved to Discord and a few hours apart since I'm EU time zone and he's US time zone. So yeah, these DMs have the timestamp of 10
I'll
a.m.
do that
EU
later,
time. The last DMs
probably.
we can see on Twitter were at 9 a.m., so this is barely an hour later after they added each other. Mal would continue by saying, things started out innocently enough with him inquiring about fun things to do near where I live, such as aquariums and conventions, TwitchCon EU specifically. I'd like to point out that I said we could go on a date to make up for Valentine's. He not once expressed to me any discomfort or that he wasn't single. So yeah, this is how it goes. If someone expresses interest in you, right, you typically tell them fairly quickly that you're already in a committed relationship. You don't just let things slide. Mal had no reason to think that Sykkuno was already taken. Otherwise, he would have said something after she proposed a date. He'd ask, do they have an aquarium? I'm a big fan of aquariums. She'd say, there's artists in Amsterdam, could make it a date, you know, to make up for Valentine's. He'd only reply with, a what? Lol? Continuing on with his innocent persona, but he'd never say, oh no, actually, wait, like, I want to meet up as friends. I'm actually in a relationship. Not once. The next section will be titled, Following My Private Instagram. He would also follow my personal private Instagram that is only available to my IRL friends and family while using his official Sykkuno account. So here we can see an image of Sykkuno following her with her personal account name being hidden since it's personal. The next section will be titled, Making Plans to Meet Me in Person. So bear in mind,
Yeah, I got Greg
the
Toes.
16th of
I'll be
February.
right back.
They had started talking on the 15th. He followed her on the 14th. The document would say, in this 2-hour Discord gaming call, the same day as our first conversation, Sykkuno made plans to meet me IRL. It was set to be the same weekend as Dokumi 2026 since he was flying over anyway to attend TwitchCon EU. Going to the aquarium would be our first date. I also learned that there is a 15-year age gap between us. Right, so look, I personally spoke to the victim about this. I asked, like, would that usually have been like a red flag or a turnoff? She said yes. But the thing is, this is Sykkuno we're talking about here, right? So she made an exception, because as you saw in the intro of this document, she used to watch him in high school. She genuinely looked up to him. To say that she was starstruck was an understatement, and that's exactly what he was counting on. Now, while keeping that 15-year age gap in mind, this next section definitely hits different. It's titled, Making Plans to Move In Together. These messages would be on the 17th of February, 2 days after they started talking. It would say, with Sykkuno, our relationship moved so incredibly fast it almost felt like a dream. It was like he could make anything I wanted happen, and as someone as prolific and successful as him, I had no reason to doubt anything he said to me. These screenshots show that Sykkuno and I were intending to adopt a cat and have me possibly move into his house. I told him we couldn't get a cat yet due to me not being a US citizen and possibly having visa issues. Keep in mind, this conversation happened 2 days after the first conversation. So in this first image of these set of DMs, we can see them talking about pets in general, right? About how he might be allergic to certain pets, about how his current dog doesn't trigger his allergies. So they start discussing the prospect of getting a cat. Mal would say, I mean, if I'm there anyways, we'll have to think of a name, no? To which Sykkuno would say, yeah, but I don't know if I can take care of it myself. Mal would say, or we're just going to name it Cat. He'd say, you'll have to stay to help take care of it, lol. To which she'd say, I'm okay with that, though I don't know how that would work with me staying there. I can't stay forever either, you know, because I'm not an American citizen and I'll also probably have to go back as well. Because I mean, I hope at least that I can go back to studying end of this year. And like in general, everything is so expensive. And then he'd say, oh yeah, that's true. Okay, maybe we can get a cat together another time then. Besides, don't you already have a cat? Which she'd say, yeah, but they're my dad's. Also, did you finally order the food? And he'd say, oh, I see. So you wouldn't have to bring them if you just moved somewhere. To which she'd say, no, I guess not though. I'd miss them so much, so I definitely have to get new pets. So barely a couple days after speaking to each other, Sykkuno's out here discussing getting a pet together, taking care of it, raising it together, and looking into the possibility of her maybe moving in together with him one day. This was as he was sharing a home with his girlfriend. The next section will be titled Lying About Being Single and Dating History. In this screenshot, Sykkuno said he has only ever had one relationship his entire life. I would eventually find out that that was a lie and that he had been dating and living in the same house as his girlfriend for years and that I was not the only girl on the internet that he spoke to on a daily basis. So here we can see DMs of them discussing this topic. Mal would say, I mean, you've been in relationships before. It's not like it's your first relationship, referencing what they might potentially have going on. To which he'd reply with, I don't know, lol. I've only actually dated someone once and they broke up with me, so yeah, I think I'm just not very good, so it's probably just a me issue. To which he'd say, did you never do anything for your ex, at all? To which he'd say, I mean, I think I did. I don't think she thought I did, so yeah. But I mean, everyone has their own way of what they want, so it's important to be like, are you getting what you want? And if you're not, I totally understand. Mal, of course, would want to inquire as to what he was saying. What do you mean you think you did? Like what? But he'd never specify, and he'd always keep it vague, keeping up this persona that he crafted, the one that was allergic to love, that had no idea, what was going on with women. This would lead us right into the next section titled Sexting. We texted every single day, and these interactions would be charged with flirting and suggestive topics. I would send him suggestive pictures and audios, and he would confirm that he'd touch himself to them. Additionally, he'd always act flustered and inexperienced, keeping up the illusion of his on-stream innocent persona. We'd also regularly talk about date ideas and things we'd like to do together in the future when we'd meet up IRL. Topics that are usually discussed between two adults who are clearly romantically interested in each other. On top of texting, we also called almost every single day, even after he'd stream for over 8 hours. We'd talk and play games regularly. One thing I'd notice is that every time we called and when he spoke, he'd be whispering and never fully use his voice. His excuse was that it's because he was tired after a long stream, and I didn't really find that to be suspicious. Using your voice for 8 hours in a row does exhaust it after all. I now realize that he was quiet because his girlfriend lived with him and he didn't want her to hear. So in this first set of DMs, we can see them discussing things to watch together. Sykkuno saying, let's watch something. Mal would say we should. He would say, let's watch a cooked Netflix dating show because those are funny, or both. And Mal would say we should. And do you also want to play games like Helldivers or Overwatch or etc.? In the next image, we can see them discussing the spicy audio that she sent him at some point. He'd say, you do too. She would say, yeah, like in that audio recording I sent you, to which he would act flustered over and say, huh? Oh my God. Well, yes, you really sounded cute in that too. To which she would say, did you ever re-listen to it or only that once? In the next screenshot, we can see them discussing going on a gym date. Mal expressed to him how much she enjoys going to work out at the gym, and so Sykkuno would inquire about what a gym date looks like. This is when they discuss it more. In the next two set of DMs, we can see them talking about more spicy topics. Mal would say, you get flustered so easily. And then Sykkuno would say, because I'm not. I've never done this kind of thing before, lol. To which she would say, and? You don't like it? He'd continue saying, which is crazy because I'm older than you, but I haven't really dated much, so. And then Mal would say, so? You have me now. He'd reply with, my XP bar is low, but no, I do it. I've never gotten something like this before. Yes, I like it. It's so good. I can't wait to use it later. As in, I can't wait to grill my sausage to it later, whatever she sent. To which she would reply with, I've kind of wondered if you've ever touched yourself while watching what I send you. To which he'd say, what? Why would you wonder that? She'd say, well, because they're spicy pictures and videos. Of course, I wonder if you put them to use. And then he'd say, I'll definitely put this one to use. She'd say, so you've never done so before? And then he would say, maybe in all caps with a flustered sweating emoji. This is when she'd put her foot down and say, I want a yes or no. And then he would say, yes, of course I have. How could I not? Overall, these DMs were a balance of spicy and wholesome, just like what you'd expect when two people are romantically interested in each other, saying goodnight to each other, inquiring on their health. He'd compliment her on her appearance. She'd say, I love getting compliments from you. Good morning, handsome. What are you up to? But this romantic interest wouldn't just be expressed with words. No, for Sykkuno, he'd make sure to express it financially, too. This is what would lead us to the next section, titled Sugar Daddy. Less than a month later, Sykkuno would randomly ask for my PayPal account in DMs. He'd then waste no time in sending me money unprompted, something that I'd later realize was simply a behavioral pattern that he'd employ with women he'd express interest in. I want to reiterate that I have never asked him for his money, and he did this of his own volition. He bought me both a gym jacket, linked below, and Resident Evil 9, because I had expressed interest in that game. Here we can see two payments, the first one sent on the 28th of February 2026, 81 euros, and the second one being 200 euros on the 5th of March 2026. The sender was the business, Sykkuno. He'd innocently ask for her PayPal username on the 28th of February. He'd start off the conversation with, you still aren't asleep either? To which she'd say, I fell asleep, woke up again because I'm having trouble sleeping. He would then say, oh, well, good morning. And what's your PayPal so I can buy you games later? She'd say, huh? Straight to the point. Jesus, I need to update my email to my PayPal because it's my old name from before I rebranded. When he would send her money for a gym jacket, at some point she'd say, "Want me to send it back?" To which he'd say, "No, I wanted you to get a nice gym vest, lol. Especially because it seems like you're really passionate about working out, so I thought it'd be nice. And then you can remember me when you're wearing it." I thought it was a cute idea. She'd buy one, she'd wear it, she'd send it to him, and she'd say, "I wore it with the green set because I know how much you like green." She'd also make a tweet on her account while wearing it, saying, "This gym jacket is literally so comfy, the muscle mommy arc will be real." So up until this point, this was Mal's experience with Sykkuno. The next section is titled "A Calculated Pattern of Love Bombing and Manipulation." And this is where we talk about Elphilia's side of the story. The document would say, "After speaking to Elphilia a few days ago, we were able to corroborate our experiences with Sykkuno and learned that we were both victims of this. We had no idea that he was talking to both of us at the same time. Sykkuno is known to send hundreds of dollars to the girls he wants to get involved with. This screenshot is from when he took my friend Elphilia to Paris during the 2025 TFT tournament, along with sending her 500 euros to help her move into her new apartment. You can clearly see that this was sent from his business email's PayPal account. So unlike the other image that was supplied by Mal, here we can clearly see this is Sykkuno at hotmail.com sending her all this money. A substantial amount, around 1,550 euros, all under his business email. Here are the DMs in which we can see that he offered to pay for her flight to TFT Paris as well as all the food and hotel fees there, pretty much taking care of her financially during the entire trip. So this starts off as far back as April 2025, with Sykkuno telling Elphilia, "I'm probably going to Paris later this year for sure. I'm not sure on TwitchCon yet. I'm afraid I don't know enough people." He'd say, "You should come to Paris when I go to it. Is it close?" To which she'd say, "Paris is pretty easy to go to, yeah, since it's in the European Union." He'd say, "You better hang out then when I go there." She'd reply with, "I'll have to see because I know nothing and no one there and it's expensive." To which he would say, "I'll pay for it, don't worry." She'd say, "Whoa, really? You do that?" And then he'd say, "Yeah, of course, and all the food." She'd of course be ecstatic about this and say, "You'd have to deal with my annoying ass though." And he would say, "But you gotta choose places to eat, like the restaurants." And she'd say, "Deal." One day later, he'd reiterate, "You're fine, you never have to pay for anything, don't worry, lol. How much is the flight usually from Netherlands to Paris and back?" Because she lived in the Netherlands at the time. "I think I'm going for like a TFT tournament or something like that." On the 10th of December 2025, we can see her saying, "I'm boarding now, see you soon," to which he would reply with, "See you soon, you have the hotel info, right?" Since they were going to share a room. This brings us to the next section titled Elphilia's Experience. Elphilia would talk to Sykkuno on and off for the span of 5 years. During that time, she had absolutely no idea that he had a girlfriend in the 5 years that she had known him, and on and off flirted with him. Anytime she would bring up the topic of his love life, he would give the response of playing too many games and not going out enough to meet women to date. So bear in mind, she knew him since like 2021, back when he was like the most desired man on the entirety of Twitch or the streaming space. And even with all that flirting, he never once mentioned the relationship he's been in since 2021. So this was in the beginning of his relationship as well. So in this next set of DMs, we can see Elphilia saying, "Also, I have a question for you. Why are you single? Like, how?" To which he'd say, "Huh? That's a crazy question, lol. I think it's a combination of like playing too many games." To which he'd say, "Why crazy? Why is it a crazy question?" The guy was desired by anyone. Even after his viewership had fallen down a little bit, he could still DM anyone and get them to date him. It didn't make sense. The document would say, "Same calculated behavior and patterns, using his nerdy gamer boy facade to lure women into a false narrative." In this next set of DMs, Elphilia would be saying, "You're cute. You're this sweet to all girls, or am I just lucky?" To which he'd say, "Wah, lol, only to the ones I think are cool." So as we can see, Elphilia is just starstruck. She can't believe this. She feels so lucky that Sykkuno, the guy who's desired by everyone, is giving her attention out of anyone else in the world. This is the effect he had on people, and he knew this. And just like with Mal, he would follow her personal Instagram with his official Sykkuno Instagram page. It's genuinely like a deja vu to what he did with Mal. Like, it's the same patterns. The guy had a playbook, and he knew how to put it to use. The document would continue. Here is proof that Sykkuno was in Paris for the TFT event around this time too, directly from his Twitter. So here you can see this was posted around the 13th of December 2025 when he was in Paris. In this first tweet on the left, we can see him taking an image of Lily Pichu, who was also there, as well as him retweeting one of TFT's tweets saying, "Ultimate bragging rights have been secured at the TFT Paris Open." This is them announcing that Sykkuno's team had won, confirming that he was indeed there. The next page of the document would show us a set of DMs between Sykkuno and Elphilia. The date would be the 3rd of March, 2026. So this would be 3 months after they had met up and hooked up. And this would be as he was talking with Mal. He'd say, "Oh my god, I was playing World of Warcraft, I saw this player, it reminded me of you." That's because that player had a similar looking name. She'd say, "Oh, you got reminded of me? That's cute." To which he'd say, "Of course. Oh, I was gonna ask, were you planning on going to like Offkai or anything like that?"
Nah, this is I might have to stop this. Wow. So he's essentially just covering everything I just did and going through it. Is he at the end of the Google Doc? Okay, confronting Sykkuno. Alright, yeah, no, alright.
Making them
We're gonna
feel
skip to the end
special,
of this.
following their personal Instagram, wanting to meet ASAP, to hook up, everything. And I think one thing that personally struck me was how only 30 minutes after his girlfriend found out about his cheating and probably confronted him, he chose to run upstairs and prioritize Mal, someone he met 2 months ago, all while his girlfriend was crying downstairs, gutted, heartbroken. There's a reason people say with great power comes great responsibility, because once you have this power that Sykkuno possessed, you can so easily take advantage of others. So as a content creator, you have a very clear choice, and unfortunately, Sykkuno decided to be the worst person possible. I wish all the victims in this travesty the absolute best, and I also encourage them to speak out. When it rains, it pours. And right now, the first drop has hit the ground. Sykkuno and anyone else who seeks to take advantage of their position need to be held accountable. And for anyone who grew up watching him during quarantine who looked up to him, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, ruining whatever ideal image you had of him in your head. In any case, if more victims decide to speak out, then I will most likely stream me reading all of them on my channel later on. For the time being though, please, if a larger content creator reaches out to you, even if you don't make content, please always be extremely skeptical and know that they probably don't see you as the most special person in the world. They've probably done this to many others already. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I really, really appreciate it. If you want a healthy alternative to an energy drink, then definitely use the code MUJIN at GamerSubs for 10% off. And if you want exclusive content like high quality art and exclusive yapping videos, then definitely check out stacked.com. It's like Patreon, but better. I love you so much. Platonically. Come on, platonically. I'm not going to be like Sykkuno, and I'll see you in the next video whenever that is. Mwah.
Thomas the Predator.